Hey everyone, Patrice Ryan here. This is Patrice Ryan Music Lessons as well as Soul Notes guitar class from Thrive Recovery Center in Hop Hog, New York, Long Island. Video series on guitar tutorials for students who are taking this class that have a guide to use while they're practicing during the week. So the goal here is for my students, they usually get guitar sheets, worksheets, packets, and I notice some of them still get confused and they can look at a diagram and they can look at an example to play with and they still get stuck. So the idea that I came up with is you guys have a tutorial that corresponds with each lesson week by week, so you know exactly how to play a certain exercise or a certain song or a certain chord or technique. You have a visual to work with alongside of that. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so let's dive in. So we have 6 strings on a guitar. For some of you who are very, new, complete beginners, we have 6 strings on a guitar, right? So the 6th string is called the E string, low E. 5th string is called the A. 4th string is called the D. 3rd string is called the G. 2nd string is called B. And 1st string is called high E. Okay, so 2 strings that you can remember is the low E and the high E. Same pitch but different register. So one is low, one is high. Okay? So a way of memorizing the names of the strings. There's a very silly saying that I used when I first started learning how to play the guitar many years ago. And a lot of players and some students of mine who come in who, played guitar throughout the years, put it down, picked it up, they remember this saying as well. So there's a silly little saying. So it's Eddie ate dynamite, goodbye, Eddie. Eddie ate dynamite, goodbye, Eddie. Eddie, E, 8, A, dynamite, D, good, G, bye, B, Eddie. Eddie ate dynamite, goodbye, Eddie. So, Eddie. So you keep saying that over and over again. So throughout the tutorial series, I'll say, okay, play your G string. Play the G, right? Play good. Oh, okay. Right? Play 8, A. Play Eddie, or to really kind of be specific, play high Eddie. High Eddie, what does that mean? Oh, high E, okay. Got it? So that will help you. Okay, so next thing we want to do is we want to tune our guitar, right? So there's different tuners you can use, a tuner, right, to help you tune your instrument. It's very simple, basic like that. So there are different tuners. I use a clip-on tuner, which I don't have with me today, but I have a built-in tuner that I'm using. It kind of serves, it's not really the same thing, but it has a lot in common with a clip-on tuner because they both tune the instrument based off of the vibration of the instrument, right? So if I clip on my tuner, I clip it on here. This is called the headstock on the headstock of the instrument. And it's actually, it will know exactly what string I am playing because it's clipped onto the wood, right? And if there's the vibration, it can actually automatically recognize which string I am playing, okay? So since I don't have that, I'm going to show you my tuner that I have right here. So I'm going to press this little button, okay? And it's on. And if I pluck the string, I have to pluck it really hard, right, to show you the string on here. Oh, it's not coming on. What's going on here? Oh, here we go. It's on. Let's try again. That's the E. So it knows automatically that I'm playing the E string, right? So if I pluck it, here, you see a green light, and you see on the left side of the E a light that's lighting up too. It's orange, right? So basically with any tuner, there is the left side, which lights up, the right side which lights up, and the middle that lights up. So basically in that example that you just saw just now, you saw the left side and the middle light up, okay? So traditionally how it works is on the left side, if there's a light, majority of the times with a lot of tuners, it'll come up as red. Not all tuners, but with the left side that lights up, it means that not the instrument, that the string is too, it's too flat, okay? Flat meaning it's too low in pitch. On the right side that lights up, it can also light up as red as well. That means that the pitch is sharp, meaning that it's too high. Middle means natural, all right? So like a natural state, meaning that it's not sharp, it's not flat, it's right in the middle. It's perfectly in tune, okay? So that's the goal here when we're doing standard tuning on our guitars. We want to make sure that, or really on any instrument, that we want to make sure if it's a standard tuning that all the strings are natural, okay? There's other different forms of tuning which we'll go over in other videos. There's different forms of tuning. There's one called drop D tuning. If you're playing your instrument in a different key for a particular song, then it doesn't use standard tuning. You have to kind of change the strings around in pitch. We'll go over that more in detail in videos to come. But so I'm going to be tuning my instrument, right? So when I pluck the string, let me pluck it again. Oh, it went away. Where'd it go? My guitar is playing tricks on me, right? So you see the left side, it's flat. In this case, it's orange. So I want to turn it up. Now, think about it like this. I have these tuning pegs, right? These are the tuning pegs. You see it right here? See it? Right here. Now, what helps me, because in the past, and I still do this as a guitar player to this day, sometimes I'll be using the tuning pegs and I'll wonder, wow, why isn't the change in pitch going on in this particular string that I'm trying to tune? Well, because I'm turning the wrong peg. And that is common. I've seen a lot of my friends who are guitar players, they still make that mistake to this day. So what I would recommend you do is, okay, so I'm trying to tune the low E. So I look at this peg, or I look at the string, and I follow my finger up and I'm like, oh, okay, it's right here. So I follow the string all the way up to where the string is tied onto one of the pegs, and I see that it's this peg right here. This is the low E peg, right? So I'm going to tune it. Okay, it's a little sharp, so it's to the right. So if it's too sharp, think about this. You're turning the peg. If it's sharp and you want to lower the pitch, you want to turn the peg towards you. So I'm turning it towards me. See this? Just a little bit. Oh, it's still sharp. Let me turn it towards me. Oh, it's a little flat. Oh, now it's in tune. It's actually green. And don't go too crazy. I said perfectly. When you have a natural note, it's perfectly in tune. Quote unquote perfectly, okay? So sometimes you have overtones where there's different pitches that pick up while you're plucking that string. It's all based off of physics. If it's green, if it's like right in the middle, but you see a little bit of sharp, it's okay. It's okay. Don't go too crazy. A lot of my students in the past, and I know I've been a victim to it, where it's like, okay, I have to really fix it, and I'm like turning the peg, and then I'm spending 20 minutes doing that. Don't do that. Don't go too crazy. Over time, I promise you, you'll get used to doing it. Like, you'll know how to tune your instrument you'll do it in your sleep, basically, at that point, is what I'm trying to make. So, okay, so we have E in tune. Now I have A. Now it's still a little too sharp. So I have to turn the peg towards me. Oh, now it's flat. Okay, so now I have to if it's flat, I have to tune it up, right? So if it's flat, I have to turn the peg away from me, not towards me, away from me. Okay, now that's in tune. Towards me, or actually away from me, it's flat. So you get the idea. So now it's in tune. So for my students, you'll also be getting, like I said in the beginning of this tutorial, you'll also be getting practice packets based off of what I'm talking about. So there's actually a PDF on how to tune your instrument as well. So you can use that with this video to really help you out while you're in the journey of tuning your instrument. Okay? Great. So since we just did that, let's go over finger exercises. So before we start playing, it's very important to do the finger exercises because it helps you build up strength in your fingers, especially in your third and your fourth finger. Your fourth finger is actually like the most difficult finger on any instrument, especially string instruments, to play with. A lot of my students, they complain, they're like, ow, my fourth finger hurts, I don't have a lot of strength. I also hear about this silly, you know, it's a myth, but like, oh, I have tiny fat fingers so I can't play. I'm going to say this very lightly and keep it PG. That is baloney. Okay. You can have any size fingers, whether it's long, short, I don't care. No one cares. You can still play your instrument. Okay. So this is for, this exercise, these finger exercises we're going to do. It's going to help you with speed, dexterity, and it's going to help you get your fingers limbered up. Okay. So while we do that, I'm going to turn on my computer while my camera's on, and we're going to do the first finger exercise. Okay, so we're going to be using a metronome. It'll help you play in time, and it'll help you learn how to play in an ensemble, or if you want to do a jam and you want to have fun and you want to do like a little riff, or play scales, or play like solos, this will help you with that. Okay, so a metronome. So a metronome helps you keep track of the beat, right? So there's basically different notches, and I like to start out at, let's say, 60. If you can hear it. Okay, that's 60 beats per minute, right? So that's one beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's one beat. Okay, also known as a quarter note. Okay, so that's what I'm playing at. So we are going to use the 1, 2, 3, 4 finger exercise. Okay, and I'll play it for you first just so you understand exactly what I'm playing. Okay, so I have my pick, I have my trusty pick, and there's different ways of holding it. I'll show you the way I hold it. Okay, so Scouts honor, Girl Scouts honor, don't know, wasn't in the group when I was a kid, but I hold my two fingers like this, and I hold my thumb, and I have my pick, and I hold it like this. There's different ways of holding it. I can use my thumb and play like this. That's the way jazz players play it. I've played it like that a couple of times throughout my playing career, especially when I studied guitar while I was in college. You can play it like this. I like to play it like this. You know, experiment with it. But if it really helps to get that pick control, I kind of like to play it like this. Okay? Okay, or another one. You could play it like this. It's not personally my favorite, but whatever makes you comfortable, definitely do it. Okay? So this is how I'm going to hold it, like this, on the string. Okay? And I'm going to put my fingers down. It's important to play on the tips of your fingers, okay? So don't play on the fleshy part, because if you play on the fleshy part, like I'll show you right now, you don't really get a lot of sound, and the flesh of your finger also plays on the next string over. You don't want to do that. So you want to make sure that you're playing on the tip of your fingers, right behind the first fret. So these are frets. They're bars built into the guitar, okay? And it's a grid system that helps you learn where the notes are. So if I need to know where the 5th fret is, if I need to know, hey, I need to play, you know, on I want you to play 5th fret on the low E string, or low E, right? See that right there? Right here. You can't really see the dots. That also helps as well. There's dots depending on what kind of guitar you have. Sometimes it could be on the 3rd fret, 5th fret, 7th fret. So on here, my dots are on the 5th, the 7th, these two right here, 5th, 7th, 9th, up here. And then the classic double dots, which is on the 12th fret. this is another E. This is low E. This is high E. This is another high E right here. And then there's another high E that's even higher than this E right there as well. So we have 4 E's. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, all right. So let's get back to the finger exercises. So I'm going to put my first finger on the first fret. Then second finger on the second fret. Then third finger on the third fret. Then fourth finger on the fourth fret. Okay? So I'm going to play you this example and show you exactly what I want you to play with this metronome now. We're actually going to put this metronome into use, all right? All right, so just watch me. 1, 2, 3, 4. E. A. D. G. B. E. Okay, so on each string, right, so I just named you the strings, and on each string, you're going to pluck 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? So that's how you play it. If this is too fast for you, anytime if this BPM that's playing right now, if it's too fast, then you just lower it, right? So if this is at 60 beats per minute, so you can lower it at like 56, okay? It's a little bit slower. Okay, so I'll show you this example. But yeah, that's exactly what you have to do. You have to play from the low E up to the high E. Okay, so second example. Well, second part of this example, this exercise. This is what I want you to do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Two, 3, 4, 1, 2,